What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG studios here in New York City. You're watching the WCS America Challenger League, where these players are trying to get into the Premier League of Season 2. Of course, Season 1 Premier League, we're down to our final 8. We're going to be finishing up that tournament this weekend. The finals start June 1st. Tune into that for sure. Of course, I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav, currently watching Top versus Fenix.
That first game, Fenix had such a great opening. You really caught Top off guard with that super fast Widowmine drop. But Top's just understanding of positioning and micro was just so superior in that game. Amazing performance by the Chinese player.
Again, such a tricky situation there for both players. Like Fenix getting a lot of worker kills there in the beginning. He knew he was ahead, but again, it was a situation where he was confident in his tank positioning, confident in how he was playing it through, but Top able to find those holes when he absolutely needed to win that game. So Top, again, he's up 1-0. Game 2 is going to be on Daybreak. The players are ready. The countdown has begun. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. A situation where Top is 1 win away from advancing to the next round of the Challenger League bracket stage to play Apocalypse. And Fenix is in a situation where he must win 2 in a row, and I'll have to say it's doable. Considering how far ahead he was in Game 1, I think anything can happen here. We've seen some crazy games today. Lots of cheese so far, but we'll have to see what happens here in game number 2. I have the pleasure of being able to introduce our 2 players. Hopefully Fenix doesn't lag out here. Oh, he's going to leave the game. We're going to get that started right back up, guys, so no reason to go anywhere. But yeah, Top, Fenix, how do you think these 2 players adjust on Daybreak?
So Daybreak, of course, is a map where the Blink Stalker technique doesn't work nearly as well. There's not as many angles to get into your opponent's base. And I don't think Fenix will do the Widowmine drop again. It's a build where you really rely on catching your opponents off guard. Right. If they open with a fast expansion and defend well with Stalkers, you're going to be very, very far behind because of how much you delayed that command center. I think we're going to see both players open with a fast expansion. Yeah. From there on out, Fenix loves that 2-base medevac aggression. Top may just play defensive. That's probably what he's going to do, is just stay on the defensive, defend aggression, get ahead of macro, and then try to seal the deal in the later stages of the mid-game. You
know what's really interesting is I love the initial factory placement of Fenix. You know, again, trying to hide that intel because of that mothership core is so common from Protoss players. But even with that, Top was still able to identify exactly what was happening. I think either A, he saw the Widowmine scuttling forward, or he saw the medevac. Because imagine how bad that could have potentially been for Top had he not even scouted what was going on until the last second, until the Widowmines were in his base.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if his army was halfway across the map, and then of course the Widowmines would get 2 or 3. I mean, they did get 2 VODs off. The Widow just basically sat there forever, getting 3 VODs off, maybe even more. The Observer would have been much more delayed. And if you're in a situation where you have to end the game immediately, you can see Top had amazing, almost perfect execution of the Blink Stalker attack, but it still took him 5-6 minutes because the way Blink Stalkers work is you slowly chip away at your opponent and you just reinforce Blink Stalkers while you're chipping them away. If you lose the ability to reinforce Blink Stalkers because there's Widowmines killing all your probes, the build just doesn't work at all. So really great by Top that he's able to scout that out before it got to his base.
Yeah, that's super important. It makes you wonder if Fenix had been a little bit more, I guess, in the back of his base with the Widowmines and the medevac, if he had taken a little bit more of a wider route, how differently that game could have gone. I can tell you what, it probably would have been very bad for Top. But again, Top able to make a great situation out of an impossible one and able to take game 1. We're back in the lobby. I'm going to ask the players if they're ready. Fenix says he is. Top says he is. So I'm going to start the game again. Map number 2 is going to be Daybreak. It's going to be a must-win situation here for Fenix. Again, he has to win 2 in a row now. It's not the end of the world if you lose here. Again, there's 2 stages to the Challenger League. There's the bracket stage and there's the group stage. There's 8 groups of 4 in the group stage, and the top 3 stay at WCS America. The top 2 go to Premier League. The 3rd place goes to Challenger League. The bottom slot, they're going to be out of WCS America. So again, if your favorites are losing here in the Challenger League bracket stage, again, you're not seeing the last of them. That's for sure. So we'll have to see what happens here. The game has begun, and neither of the players have dropped, which is good for us. In the top right-hand location, we have your Red Terran player currently down 0-1, representing Team Incredible Miracle, and hailing from Peru, he is Fenix. His opponent in the bottom left-hand location, hailing from China, and representing Team Zenith of Origin, he is Top. Whenever I say that team name, I have to say it with that voice. I'm sorry, I can't control it.
Very awesome team name. Chinese teams are always pretty fun.
Yeah.
Invictus Gaming, the most well-known of Chinese teams, I believe, of course. I think Max had Zonder, as well as, of course, we saw Jim Zonder as well. Many of their top players. But Top saying, you know what? Invictus Gaming doesn't represent all of the best players in China. Other teams out there as well.
It's cool to see such diversity in the tournament, though. You know, really, these Chinese players really trying to make a statement. Really trying to show that, you know, they can play too. And doing a great job in WCS America so far, all things considered. I don't think there were no Chinese players in the Premier League of Season 1, but I think there are four in Challenger League right now?
Max said, Top, Jim, Ian is from Taiwan.
Right. Okay, so I think I was thinking of Ian.
Yes.
All right.
So
you
Fenix
miscalled this a little bit.
I did. Fenix is not doing the standard Command Center first build on Daybreak. He's actually he's doing a different build than last game, though. He did get the barracks before gas, so it's less of a fast stack, slightly more economically focused with the orbital coming out a little bit faster. But the fact that he's getting that gas before Command Center isn't super common. What it is he's getting the Reaper out, and this is basically like hopefully when Nexus first, assuming I'll go Command Center first, and then the Reaper would walk across the map and kill all your probes. Of course, Top playing very, very safe, doing more standard, just gateway side core build. Top's actually getting a second gas as well here. So I'll have to see if he tries to do some one-base build like he did last game, or if he does go ahead and get that Nexus.
Whereas Fenix is going to scout this. He's going to see both the gases filled up, and then automatically those fears in the back of your mind start whispering at you. Because whenever you see two gases from a Protoss in one base, it can mean some scariness. We're seeing a pylon kind of nudged on the left-hand side of his base as well, so that might be a potential placement for tech buildings. Of course, Protoss players like putting their tech buildings on the edge of their base, especially when they're trying to hide them, because Terrans will typically scan right smack dab in the middle. We see the Reaper trying to find that probe, and he's going to spot him there at the natural expansion, so we're going to try to take that guy out so he can proceed unimpeded with his build. But able to spot that reactor.
Top with 6 probes mining gas before Nexus is not common. He is going to go throw down a Nexus. Of course, the Nexus is slower than a standard Protoss gateway expansion because he's mining so much gas. We can see that he does have quite a bit of gas back, in the bank. Even after getting the Mothership Core and the Sentry and the Stalker, he still has 150 gas as backup. So he could easily, right after the Nexus, throw down a Stargate, throw down a Twilight Council, and still tech very, very fast.
Nexus goes down here at the natural. Fenix wants to be able to spot that, but he's not able to there. He's a little bit too low on health, but the Reaper's going to go for it. No! Oh, no. He lost the Reaper, and he didn't see the Nexus.
A very big blow to Fenix here. The Reaper is such an important scouting tool throughout the game.
Wow.
You really don't want to lose that Reaper, and there's really no excuse either. Reaper outruns anything Protoss has, except for a couple Stargate units. Basically, if you're losing the Reaper, it's from a controller, and it's a very important unit as well. And at the same time, Top is able to scout Fenix's build. His Mothership Core gets in there, sees the factory and the starport, so he knows, of course, that a Widowmine drop is a possibility. This game is going great for Top.
And Fenix still has no idea what his opponent is up to, especially a game after where his opponent went for the very fast blink build on one base. Fenix has to be a little bit scared, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a scan relatively soon so he can just try to identify exactly what his opponent is doing. Of course, if he scans soon and sees the Robo and 3 gates, he's going to have a good idea, but so far, Top making all the right moves, it seems.
Phoenix was able to sneak an SCV outside of his natural. So Top Stalker that was in front of the base, it kind of fell asleep on guard duty there, letting this SCV get past. And if this SCV can get into base, it's going to give invaluable stat information.
Even just seeing the Nexus at the natural would be, Phoenix is going to be very happy just seeing that. Sees a probe meander across the map, and the SCV is going to be able to spot that natural. So now Fenix can breathe a little bit of sigh of relief here. Going to try to go into the main base. There's a Mothership Core there, 2 sentries and a Stalker. He's going to spot the Robo though, and even 2 gateways. Great scout from that SCV from Fenix, which means he doesn't have to expend those so important scans.
Great play here from Fenix with that SCV scout, because he's progressing into a normal game behind this Widowmine drop. And in this case, because he got the command center before the factory or starport, This Widowmine drop doesn't have to do insane damage. Of course, it'd be nice if he doesn't lose the medevac, and it'd be nice if he gets a couple probe kills here. But typically, if he sees the photon overcharge and it can notice the fact there's an observer there, he'll probably just run away the medevac and not risk losing any units.
Scanning in the main to see exactly what's going on. The medevac going to drop at the natural expansion. Photon overcharge immediately being deployed. Widowmine trying to get scuttled into the ground, and he's going to get there, and the observer is returning back, so he should be able to see that Widowmine. The probe's returning back, though a little bit dangerous here for Fenix, but the Widowmine will get taken out before a shot goes off. Great defense so far here from top.
Medevac is hiding in between the natural and the main, a little bit at the bottom left airspace. Observer being sent by top to keep an eye on that.
Yep.
Then Medevac is probably going to hang out there for a while, trying to send it in to do a drop right now when nothing else is going on. The odds of catching your opponent off guard are very slim. But I mean, the Medevac's safe there unless top wants to invest in air units, which aren't particularly common in Protoss versus Terran. So we can just have it parked there for quite a while, and then maybe when something else happens, when there's a battle going on, then he can activate. Actually, no, he's going to send it right now to the natural, but of course top is ready.
One Marine dropped down, one Widowmine dropped down as well, but already moving those probes away. Let's see how many kills this can get. Gonna take down a Stalker, not bad, but the Widowmine does get taken out. Fenix trying to make something out of nothing happen there. Getting a Stalker kill is nice, but top is still gonna be very happy with how his defense went of that drop from Fenix.
Fenix progressing up to the biocomposition, researching stim and combat shield at the same time. Once both those upgrades complete, typically the bio army from a Terran player is going to be more than a match for the basic gate units of the Protoss opponent. Of course, top, recognizing this, is teching up to the very, very high-tech units. The first Colossus is in production. Once that comes out, it's going to be much more difficult for Fenix to take on the army with just Marines and Marauders.
1-1 get started as well, and I love the observer positioning here of top. Has an observer at the bottom right to look out for drops, has an observer at the middle left as well to look out for drops. Very important, especially when playing against Fenix. Fenix loves his drop play, and especially when you're going for that Colossus-based army, you're not going to have the highest amount of mobility, the highest amount of available gateway warp-ins, and I think top is honestly up to 4. Yeah, he's up to 4 observers total. And I honestly really like that, just maximizing the number of vision, the amount of vision he can have on the screen.
Observers are great. Top also concedes no third base from Fenix. Pylon, very intelligently placed there to spot that out. Fenix has gone up to 5 barracks before starting his third command center. So a very unit-heavy 2-base type play from Fenix. And this typically means he wants to get some damage done with these forces.
Great scan.
Very, very, very on top of keeping track of what direction a Protoss player is going. Can see the fact that it's the route of the Colossus tech. And Fenix adding in a second starport. This could lead to a very, very powerful time. And if he can prevent top from being a third base, the fact that top's going for Colossi, as well as the Thermal Lance upgrade, as well as double upgrades on the Forges, means it's very unlikely he's going to be able to progress the Storm until he sets up that third base. And if Fenix can get enough Vikings in the air to dismantle the Colossi force, all of a sudden, he can actually just take top out if he can delay the third base for a long time.
All right, so before anything drastic happens here, I have a joke for you, Nick. You have to bear with me, okay? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
What do you call an observer that sees the entire map?
I don't know.
A giant smurf. Of course, the giant smurf is our dedicated observer today. Shout out to that guy. Making sure to catch everything. He's doing a great job. He also dedicated observed the round of 16 last week, so guys, be sure to show him some love. But yeah, Fenix has a lot of medevacs postured across the map here. Nexus going down here from top, trying to take that third base, but Daybreak is a little bit tricky because that third base is well far away from the main. You can get spread out a lot, and look at this, 4 medevacs picking up a lot of Marines, a lot of units going to try to drop in the main base. A lot of Stalkers here, though, and Zealots as well here from top, but Fenix, he's going to go for it. Photon Overcharge going down the Nexus at the same time. A drop attempted at the third, but it looks like top is handling this pretty perfectly.
Wow, that couldn't have been any more of a disaster for Fenix. You know, I think he thought his units were like Iron Man or something there. He's dropping Marines into Zealots and Stalkers.
I still haven't seen that movie.
I mean, yeah, maybe Tony Stark could have made it happen, but a normal human being cannot fight against this many Protoss aliens. Like, you're dropping them into the death right there. And now all of a sudden, Fenix is down by 20 food. The Protoss third is going to come up freely. 2-2 upgrades from both players are going down, as well as a Templar Archives, and this is a dangerous spot for Terran. Of course, with the double starports, he can produce enough Vikings to deal with the Colossi. But with Storm on the field as well, and the fact that he just lost a good chunk of his bio army, it's going to be very tough to deal with the late game Protoss force if he's not even ahead in food, which he normally would want to be in.
Tricky situation here for Fenix again. you know, that's a situation where when you're going for a drop like that, that's going to work on the majority of players. But Top playing so well, perfectly, you know, peeling apart his army, sending some to a third, sending some to his main base, and having that observer coverage across the map so he can identify exactly how he needs to spread those units up. A really cool play here from Top thus far. Fenix is not out of it just yet. He does have a slight upgrade advantage. Ghost Academy is pretty well timed with that storm. And his third base is on the ground as well. So, you know, it's not like Fenix, obviously Fenix went for that drop. It didn't work out so well, but you would be a fool to count him out in this game.
Fenix doing his classic style where he really splits up units. Of course, he's got some forces at the top left, keeping an eye on that base as well as loading up a drop. And the rest of his army is going to posture and try to draw the Protoss's attention to some other part of the battlefield, and then that drop play can come in and try to strike hard at the third base.
All right, let's see what happens here. You know, Top getting everything out that he wants, getting those Colossi, getting those High Templar, adding in those extra gateways. Look out for some pylons to try to be made across the map fairly soon so we can go for counterattacks. Going to try to start 3-3 right away. He might use his gas to get some High Templars out. Wouldn't be surprised at all. And maybe delay 3-3 a little bit. It's going to be worth it to get those storms on the field, but you don't want to delay 3-3 too much, especially considering how fast Fenix is going for his own upgrades. Already starting 3-3 on this engineering base.
The drop is activated here, but it's spotted and damaged by the Photon Cannon. It's trying to draw the Protoss force to the natural, while Fenix's main force goes inside the third base.
Okay, it looks like he is on top of it, sending his entire army to that third base. Had a High Templar back on, storming the Vikings. Not a lot of bio here from Fenix. Going to try to kite away again, trying to take down the Colossi. But great storms here from Top, melting away a lot of that bio army, also doing a lot of damage to the Medevacs. But the drop in the natural expansion, able to do a little bit amount of damage, but the Zealots able to clean that up. So far, so good here on the defense here for Top.
Another kind of whiff with the aggression from Fenix. He killed almost nothing and ate a lot of damage from those great storms.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to get the Ghosts out in the field. That's the counter to the Templar. He's also working on 3-3, so he's a little bit ahead with those upgrade timings up top. Right now, upgrades are equal, but 3-3 will complete a little bit faster for the Terran player.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fenix was potentially trying to hit before Storm was in effect, but Storm pretty much finished exactly when it needed to there for Top. Look at all these gateways he's adding on, really investing a lot into these three bases. Has plenty of minerals though, so wouldn't be surprised at all to see him try to secure that fourth base, but he is approaching maxed. Ooh, a big supply block here for Top. He's 174 out of 174, and no pylon started just yet. A drop attempting to go into the main base here. Photon overcharge going down, and the cannon is there, and Top is gonna, or Fenix, this is not gonna work out for him, it looks like.
No, feedback and Photon overcharge. That drop is going to do almost nothing.
He can't warp in to defend, though. Again, he's supply blocked, and he still hasn't added on pylons. I'm very concerned about that. But anyway, big engagement going to happen here on the Fenix's side of the map. The Vikings trying to take down the Colossi. Only one Colossus left. The High Templar trying to get their damage up, but there are ghosts in play here from Fenix. If he can if he can get good EMPs, good snipes onto the High Templars, he's going to be very happy. Indeed, trying to split up those Marines and Marauders, trying to dodge those storms, and doing a decent job so far. But there's a money storm onto the bio here. Fenix desperately trying to hold on, and the reinforcements might be enough to prevail as Top gets completely cleaned up.
Some great unit spreading by Fenix here. Enough medevacs to weather the storms. He destroys Top's army, and while Top has tons of gateways and can replenish his forces quickly, he lost so many of his quality units there. All the Colossi went down, all the Templar were lost, and he doesn't really have the gas to rebuild a lot of Templar and a lot of Colossi in the next few minutes.
No fourth base, so no, only 6, restricted to 6 gases.
That's right, he's trying to set up a fourth just now. But Fenix has the army advantage. If he can deny that fourth, he's going to be very, very happy going forward. All these Templar from Top, not quite enough energy for Storm yet. They're all at 60 energy. They were recently warped in. He has to give up that fourth base.
Yeah, he has to cancel it. Now, you know, with Protoss, if you're Protoss late game, you're able to be so cost efficient if you play it right with your Colossi, with your High Templar. But look at this drop in the main base.
The third base is under fire as well. That's the big damage from Fenix here.
Wow, Fenix looking so good in this game, taking down a pylon that was powering about 6 gateways in the main base, distracting his opponent while hitting that third. The third is gone, and now Top goes from having 3 bases, 6 gases, a nice sizable army, preparing potentially to take a fourth, to being restricted to 2 bases and 4 gases, having to cancel that base in the middle once again. Fenix is playing this so well. Some
beautiful play here by the Peruvian Terran player. Top basically has to make something happen, but Fenix knows all he needs to do is buy some time. Another drop back into the main. He's gonna, oh, beautiful storm.
That was a great storm, taking down a medevac too. Another storm going down here from Top, not messing around when it comes to dealing with this bio. Now, he can still be very cost efficient with this army. Look at all these High Templars. He has about I think he has 6 there with a ton of energy in the middle. 2 Colossi there as well. So it's doable here for top. You know, it's going to be up to Fenix too. It looks like he's researching Cloak. It's going to be up to him to make sure to get those EMPs onto the Head Templar, get rid of those expensive units, get rid of those units that can bring top back into the game. You know, those high-tech, high-energy, you know, again, very cost-efficient units. So that needs to be what Fenix does here. He's actually pushing across the map a little bit. I'm not too surprised about this, considering he is approaching max, and there's the general rule, never base trade a Terran. So he could catch that third once again here if top isn't careful.
3 Zealots killing some of the SCVs at Fenix's third base. This can be very, very annoying. Fenix is looking to counterattack. Top sees this and retreats with his main army.
Let's see. Cloak is not yet done. Still a lot of ghosts in this composition. Top has to have perfect storms. He has to keep those Colossi away from the Vikings as well, because if he loses that Colossus, if he loses his Colossi, he's going to lose a lot of firepower. Great storms onto the Vikings there. Great storms onto the Bio. Fenix just running into it and soaking it up. The Vikings going down as well. Top handling this beautifully, showing the micro he did. The same kind of micro there in game 1 that he needed to have to get back into the game. But it might be a situation where Fenix just has too much. Some High Templars and Zealots being warped in. Another storm, 2 more storms, 4, 5, 6 storms going down. Oh my gosh, so much damage being done here from top. Great awareness there, warping in those High Templars at the natural expansion. And that's exactly what he needed to do.
Man, Fenix just walked right into storm after storm after storm. Nothing but bad weather for the Terran play here, and now it's a total reversal of fortunes. He's still up a base, but he's down by 20 food. He lost so many of his important units. Only 2 medevacs with almost no energy left. Only 1 ghost left here as well. At least he has a planetary fortress, so it's going to be very difficult for top to counterattack with most of these Zealots.
Oh gosh, every time Fenix gets, you know, a great lead, it just somehow goes away, and this is due to top's impeccable micro, impeccable game sense engaging here in the middle of the map. Nice EMPs there onto the High Templar and onto the Zealots and the Archons. He's going to have to back away. There's a good move there from Fenix, and again, I guess I would still consider him ahead, but again, if top gets another one of those engagements where he's just storming everything, and Fenix isn't able to micro properly, isn't able to identify where the High Templar are, this is going to be very tough here for Fenix. So Fenix needs to get it together, take a deep breath, and, you know, play StarCraft 2 and play it well. Get those ghosts out. He has Cloak, maybe scan, take out observers. Speaking of which, okay, there's still 4 observers on the field. But I still think Fenix is in a very solid situation, but top is definitely back in it.
Fenix doing his classic strategy of splitting his army up into 2 different pieces. He's got a force at the top ready to run at the 3rd or 4th of the Protoss, as well as a force at the bottom that can be dropped into the main or head straight to the 4th base of the Protoss.
Observer sees exactly what's going on. A bunch of Zealots and an Archon being sent, and oh, a lot of units could be taken out here. Archon could have potentially targeted down that medevac and maybe killed it, but top is going to be fine. He's happy to know, okay, some of your army is in the top left there, something I don't have to worry about in a main engagement. And of course, he is able to, you know, prepare his 3rd base, make sure the sufficient defenses are there.
Top really pushing across the bottom here, mobilizing a lot of forces. Ghosts are in here as well.
There's a drop going right into the 3rd base. A main engagement might happen in the middle as well. EMP is going down onto the Archons and the Zealots. No High Templars here. A Colossus is here, though, and there's no Vikings in the air. So top able to do a lot of damage, taking the supply lead, 137 to 108. There is a drop in the 3rd base of top, cleaned up by Photon Overcharge and a High Templar Storm. Another brilliant engagement there from top.
Top's unit control is just so spectacular. We saw it game 1 with the Blick Micro. We're seeing it here in game 2 with the High Templar control. Phoenix is still safe at home due to that planetary fortress, but engagement after engagement is going so cost efficient for top here. This late game situation is often a lot of Protosses struggle dealing with the mass ghosts and observer sniping. Yeah. But if you look at units lost, top has no problems being cost efficient in the late game against Terran.
Oh my God, 24,950 to 16,975. That is a ridiculous split in the units lost, and that just shows how cost-efficient top has been doing. And he had to make it happen this way because of how far behind he was. He lost his 3rd, he lost his 4th. Phoenix was on 4 bases, attacking across the map, and again, it was a situation where top threw away his army too, but top able to come back here, and now he has a substantial supply advantage, 159, well, not substantial anymore, 159 to 152, but still. It's going to come down to control. This is anyone games, and look at those DTs. Top taking the next step with this harassment. This could be a huge headache for Fenix to deal with.
Oh man, the Protoss ultimate weapon, the DTs are being sent to absolutely every single base from Fenix. This is so annoying for a Terran player. He just actually dropped mass mules at the bottom right too, so not too many scans left. trying to clear up his bases and rebuild turrets, but here comes the main engagement.
Oh, the Archon's going to be backing up, might split away. There's a storm onto the Vikings, a DT being sent there into the third. Trying to take down the Vikings with the Archons, but the Vikings able to get some nice volleys off onto the Colossi. One of those Colossi is very low in health, but still alive. Scan going down there at the third. Going to be able to take down that DT before the bunker falls. Oh, there's feedbacks onto the Medivacs going towards the main base. Those are going to get taken out. Another situation where Fenix is essentially throwing away units. Great defense there once again from top.
Man, Top just controls the entire map with beauty. Observers seen everything before it happens. Reactions are perfect. His army is getting scarier and scarier. And, you know, yes, he's a base down, but with how cost-efficient he's been, I think he's like, that's fine, as long as I'm not 2 or 3 bases down. Fenix still has a very good shot to win this game. He's got to just stay back, remax his army, and then really rely on using cloak goats to the best of their abilities to try to get a great trade.
Snipe those observers, and once those observers are gone, you're going to have the ability to cloak ghosts. Now, there are some cannons at this middle base here from top, so Fenix has to be aware of that. Ooh, 3 DTs and 2 Zealots trying to sneak around. Oh, that's a good move there from Fenix. Oh, and even scans the DTs. That's a lot of investment getting taken out there. Maybe this is the slow resurgence of Fenix after all these cost-inefficient engagements. Finally able to get some units for free there. He's going to be happy about that for sure.
Observer is still keeping perfect track of his army. Here, the top left, this Nexus is going to be, I think, canceled. Yeah, Zealots will clean that up so you can retake that base very soon.
Oh, Zealots coming forward. The Nexus should, yep, it's going to stay alive.
Oh, the Ghosts are moving forward, but there's an Observer right on top of them.
He scanned like a little bit too further back. You don't see that every day.
Wow, the Observer just on the forward edge of that scan, and that's such a big Observer. That's kept track of basically everything that's been going on this entire game.
Nice feedback there onto the medevac. Zealot's going to clean up that drop. But Storm! Oh my gosh, hitting so many of those bio, and a lot of the Vikings as well. Phoenix has to be more careful. Storm going down here onto the Ghost. The Colossus coming forward as well. Such a tricky engagement position here for both of these two players. Top is going to be backing up for now. Vikings getting from some nice volleys off from the high ground. Scans going down again, trying to identify those observers so we can get those Ghosts in there. Only 3 Ghosts left though. Top has to have, or Fenix has to have really good EMPs. Look at all those Archons though. This might be too muscly of a composition here from top.
He's pulling a few SCVs once to reduce that kind of bit, relying on mules more, but searching forward here when only the 155 food against the 200 food Protoss.
Oh, the Storm's going down, nailing the Vikings, nailing the bio as well. Still plenty of High Templar here in this composition. The Ghosts are all but gone, and now the Charge Lot's going to be surging on top of this bio army. Fenix desperately trying to kite away, but too much Protoss. He's up 145 to 77. Top is on the verge of advancing on to the next round of the bracket stage, and it wasn't easy. Top just playing so brilliantly, cleaning up Fenix once again, and that supply advantage pretty much tells the story. I don't know what Fenix does from here. I'll be completely honest. Top is just playing this so well right now.
Fenix does have a couple bases up on his, or sorry, actually he doesn't. His opponent just took the top left. Now the base count is equalized. Phoenix only with a very small worker count, trying to put in some more aggression, but he doesn't really, like you said, it's a very tough position. Not many medevacs, not many Vikings, not many Ghosts.
Yeah.
This is a nice attack here, but Top should be to defend it.
Yeah, Zealots and even some pros being pulled to deal with this.
3 Cloak Ghosts sneaking into the
nukes.
Yeah, this could be a type of a nuke play here. Zealots will left, but what can these 3 Cloak Ghosts do in between all of Top's? Actually, the Zealots aren't going to clean that up. Phoenix starting to be cost efficient here and strike back.
This is the mentality Terrans needed. Of course, for Protoss, it's win behind Dark Shrine. For Terrans, it should be win behind
Cloak Ghosts.
Nukes.
Yes.
To be more specific.
Yes.
But they're going to be seen by the cannons.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an observer right there. Well,
unfortunate
this might be the end. I think this might be the end. Top extending across the map here, heading toward Phoenix's 4th base. Not even that many SCVs there to repair. So many High Templar, Archons, Zealots, and a Colossus targeting down that planetary fortress. It should go down. Some Ghosts being added on. Feedbacks taking those down immediately. There's the GG from Fenix. Wow. Top is good. Oh my god, I'm so excited to watch this guy as he advances through. Top is going to advance on to play Apocalypse, and wow, both those games, I feel pretty bad though for Fenix. He had really good leads in both those games, I think.
He definitely did, but it just came down to unit control, and Top showing absolute precision with all these storms, just dismantling the forces, and Phoenix is just going into the storms here. And then when he backs up,
he's like, oh, I'm going to go to the natural. Maybe there's no High Templars at the natural. His whole army is over there.
Yeah, there's no way. Even losing the Vikings, and now he's like, okay, the army's away. I can go in here, snipe the Nexus.
But wait.
No, you can't. There's more Protoss waiting.
Oh my gosh. And he's like, all right, I'm going to split. Well, it's not really going to work when there's 70 High Templar. That was the turning point in the game there. Top able to make a fantastic comeback. And again, you know, able to consistently deny drops everywhere. And Fenix, a guy who loves that drop play, that's not the easiest thing in the world. Of course, Top made it look a little easy, but trust me, it's not. So again, congrats to Top. He's going to take the 2-0 victory. And again, we'll advance on to play Apocalypse. And the winner of Top versus Apocalypse will advance into the Premier League of Season 2 of WCS America. Guys, stay tuned. The moment a lot of you have probably been waiting for is finally on the way. Illusion versus Tasia is going to be our last best of 3 of the night. You're watching WCS America Challenger League. Don't go anywhere.